Good evening. Happy Easter. Welcome to my live. I hope you are all well. Weird bit of hair going on there. I wasn't sure if I was going to go live tonight or tomorrow night, and I realised I hadn't scheduled it, so I was a bit all over the place. But I am here. And if you're here too, come along and say hi. Janine is here. Good morning to you. Hopefully it is a reasonable hour of the morning for you. What have I been up to today? Yesterday we went to Southampton. We went shopping. Joshua wanted to go down there for a few bits and bobs. So we ended up going down there, and we didn't stay for ages actually. We just had a few shops we popped into and stuff, but didn't stay down there for ages. It was really busy. And I did buy myself a little something. Oh, that is early, Janine. 5:45. I hope you've got a nice cup of tea. I bought myself a little something. I'm just going to wait and see if a few people popped on, and I will show you. It was a very cheap thing, but handy for my craft room. And then today I had a bit of a cleaning blitz this morning, a lazy morning, and then a bit of a cleaning blitz for about an hour or so. I was cleaning windows and doing what have you. I was going to wipe down some shelves, and it ended up in a full blown hour and a half later. I'm there scrubbing all the conservatory and cleaning it, but it looks sparkling. So delighted with that. And then had family over, my parents and my brother, and we had roast dinner. So I cooked that, and we had lunch around 2ish and had a very lazy afternoon. So yeah, it's been lovely. It's been really nice. Just a very chilled weekend. I hope you've had a nice weekend too. So on to my purchase. So the word more messages, this word stamp set, I have shown you. I've been stamping it out, and it comes with a die that cuts all the messages in one go. So one stamp, one die, and then you get a pile of messages. Now, I saw this in the shop and I thought that would be perfect, and it is. So it was from a shop called Flying Tiger. Not sure if anyone outside of the UK has that shop. I think it's a German brand, so I'm guessing it's probably in Europe. Anyway, they've currently got these little boxes. How cute. So they've got little dividers in, and the layers, there's 3 layers, and it's got little dividers in, and I just thought it was perfect for the messages. It was like £3 or something. It was not very much. So yeah, I've got my messages in there. I just need to fill it up now. So I've done some in white, some with white embossed. I've only done one with the white embossing and the black. But I've got all the different sentiments in the different layers. So I thought, actually, then I've got them ready to go, which is handy dandy. So I'm sure there's lots of little boxes like that, but they just seemed like the perfect size. They weren't too small. They're like the longer happy birthday sentiments fitted in. So, and they're all equal portions. So yeah, got myself a little. I'm well prepared. I know. I have no cards, but I have messages. Have messages will travel. So yeah, I've got my little box of stuff. So yes, lots of cards to be making. Right. Okay, tonight I thought we would do a recreation, different colourway of the card I made from my swaps. So let me just grab my camera. And, oh, knocking that. It's not quite in the right place. I don't know why that's... I was having problems with this earlier. Not tightening up. I think we're there. Sorry. I got it all over the place. It was a very handy dandy purchase, wasn't it, Sue? Handy dandy. Oh. You can get them online. There's a little bit more online, actually. They're a little bit more pricey, not massively, but a little bit more if you look on their website. And obviously, you pay postage as well. There's a shop in Brighton. There's a shop in Southampton, the Flying Tiger. They had plenty of them when I went in there. Anyone is looking for them. Right, so let me move my water out of the way. I've got a full sheet of Lost Lagoon cardstock for this card tonight. So I'm going to cut it in half down the length. And I'm going to score it in half. And then I'm going to chop the front. So I'm going to put the crease line to about the 3 inches mark. And I will line that up and cut that bit off. So we then got our card like this. And then we're going to cut some 1/2 inch pieces. Now, this is where I decide whether I think I might do the darker. I might do peacock. I have also been busy sending out cards and whatnot. So the card that I made last week on my live has actually gone in the post. I was going to say who I'd sent it to, but I feel like I want to make it a surprise for the person that's receiving it. So maybe I'll wait and then it's a surprise. So I will also send out randomly this card that I'm making tonight as well. I'm going to get better at doing that. I'm going to be sending out more cards from my live. So especially if you're here and able to be here and commenting. But if you're here on the replay, give me a shout, because you can definitely be included in the random selection as well, because I know that this is not a sociable hour of the day for everybody, depending on where you are in the world. Right, so we've got, that bit's a bit in the way, isn't it? I don't know. Right, let's come over here. So we've got 1/2 inch strips by the width of the card. So then I'm going to crease this, and I'm going to grab my glue and put a bit of glue on here, and we're going to come in this by about 1 inch, I suppose. Now that is going to line up to the bottom of your card, so you want that lined up there, and then the same on this side. And then we've got these gate pieces, I suppose, going across like this. So I'm just going to lay them on the back of the card. Hey Lizzie. I hope you all had a lovely day. I've been very chilled. Lovely lay-in this morning. I wasn't out of bed until it was definitely gone 10 o'clock, which was so nice. The weather's been on and off sunny. Managed to get a load of washing out. So nothing particularly exciting, but all stuff that needs doing. Right, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on those and then just make sure they're lined up. And then we can then close this down. Onto there. There we go. So we've got our little gate across there. And so I also used little Easter tipsy. Chocolate and wine. What's not to love, Lizzie? I use the beautiful motifs, this background here, but I'm sure if you've not got this yet, then you would have some sort of textured stamps in your stash. So this one, I'm going to stamp this in Pretty Peacock. Just test it out over there. Nice. So we're just going to stamp that across the edge, just for a little bit of texture. And I have done, despite me being a little bit later coming on, being a little bit disorganised to get on here, I was organised enough to have die cut some flowers. So I'm using the Impressions Abloom. I joined, when we went to Strasbourg, there was an after hours stamping, and this was a bundle that I received when I did that stamping. So it's this one here, and I have a class planned for this one. So over on my website, coastalcrafter.com, there is a button, there's a circle button that says classes. At the top banner, it says classes, or you can do coastalcrafter.com/classes, and you'll land in the same place. Impressions Abloom is going to be my class in May. So I've got an in-person event class on the 10th of May in Haskins Garden Centre. And that same class will then be run online on the 24th of May, which is a week before my retreat, which is coming around so fast. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Lovely to have you here. So I know I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, do I go live tonight? Do I go live tomorrow night? And I said to the boys, what are we doing? What are we doing? Are we watching a film? Are we doing anything? And they were doing some game stuff, and they were like, no, go and do your live, it's fine. So I took them up on that offer and came to join you all. Right, here are the dies. So the dies are these lovely ovally shapes, I guess. One has got the stitched border and one is just a plain die cut. And then there is these flower pieces. Now I've taped them together for the purpose of cutting them. So they've cut and embossed these pieces. But get my sorted out. They just the outlines on their own will then cut out the stamped images. So you've got options to stamp and emboss, just stamp and cut out, or just emboss. So I love the fact they're kind of interchangeable like that. And that piece just sits however it's sat in there, like that. But I would recommend a bit of low tack tape when you're cutting them out. It just stops them slipping around. And then there's stems and little flowers here. These ones I haven't used them yet. And the leaves were a little bit more tricky to get out because the hole points, there isn't a hole down in the stem. So I'll show you that in a minute. And then there's these little leaves as well. So there's also some little mini flowers which are super cute in there, which are also handy. But these flowers I have cut already in watercolour. So I was going to do a little bit of Calypso Coral and Timid Tiger. Hi Kim and Shaz, both appeared over on YouTube. Cindy's over there, Janine's over there, and there's a lovely lot of you over on Facebook. Good evening. Right, let's grab my water and a paintbrush. So I am going to just dampen these down. Am I close enough for you? Can you see this? Hopefully. We're just going to give them a wet. And then I'm going to bring in the Timid Tiger. And we'll have a little bit of watercolouring on these. And we can also mix in a little bit of Calypso Coral, which I love as a colour to watercolour with. I don't often reach, and I say this a lot, I probably say this every time I get Calypso Coral out on my live, but I don't use the cardstock very often because it's quite dark, but I love the colour when it is stamped and a soft kind of colour. Evening, Sarah. Hope you all had a lovely Easter. I've got another day off here tomorrow, so it's very pleasant. And hopefully the sun will make an appearance. I managed to get a load of washing out on the line, which was a result today. Let's do Calypso. Dab that on there. You could watercolour down like a page with a mix of colours on and then die cut them out. Kim says it was freezing here today. It wasn't the warmest, I have to say. It wasn't the warmest. There was bursts of sunshine. I had a little, it burst me into kind of feeling like I could blitz my conservatory windows and give them a good clean. And then it clouded over again. So I was already full throws in the middle of it by then. So I had to continue. But it was windy and dry enough to get some washing out. I certainly wasn't sitting out in it. It was not that kind of warm. Right. Typical, isn't it? It's been beautiful, beautiful weather, and then Easter weekend, not so much. I'm not sure I'm going to need all these flowers on this one card, but you know, I'm having a nice time. Hopefully you're having a nice time watching. I don't think it. If we've got extras, I don't suppose it will matter. And always add some extra layers. The Timid Tiger is a more sort of tangerine-y kind of orange and goes really nicely with the coral. It's a nice mix of those colours. Right. I think we're good. It's gorgeous, isn't it, this one? It's a gorgeous bundle. Yeah, I was delighted to have got this for the stamping for the evening. We there wasn't the chance to do the die cutting when we were there. We were just stamping. So this is the kind of first chance I've had to kind of really play with the dies. I haven't really used it a huge amount. Christine says there's a shop in Bluewater. Do you mean the Flying Tiger one that I mentioned? Yes. And it's Brighton, Southampton. There's bound to be one in Bluewater, isn't there? I think there's a. Is this an online bundle? Yes, it is, Danette. Yes, it is an online bundle. So will be available 6th of May, or if you're a demo, available now. There is some coordinating papers with it. The papers are lovely. Lots of florals on it. Right, let's do some of this leaf. I'll also cut this leaf and show you. You're not behind because we're still in April and this stuff hasn't gone live yet. So you're definitely not behind. The online stuff is on its way. But there's plenty of time yet. Plenty of time yet to be getting this. Right, let me just run this through. I'm hoping this might be enough leaves. I'll maybe do another couple in a minute, but I'll just bring these back over and show you. So these ones here, obviously just cut those little ones out there. And then this one here is a little bit more tricky to get out, but because if you push through here, you kind of come through that leaf here. So I found if I just laid it upside down and put my point of my pokey tool here, it just then lifted that up from the edge, and it means you can then pull it away from the die. I cut a fair few like that, and with the thinner basic white, and it seemed to lift out better. The other option is you've got the hole at the top and you could come that way with it, but I found by just putting the pokey tool in the die there, it just lifted it and then you could pull it away. So that would be my tip for the leaves. So I'll run another one of them through, and I'll show you just once more. I'll grab the paper as well if anyone would like to see that. I know I'm not using it on this, but I will grab the paper out and show you the paper that coordinates with this bundle. It's called Floral Impressions. And lay it on the desk because I've got my watercolour there. But this is the one that coordinates with the bundle. There's purples and sort of wild flowery bits in there. It's a pretty one. It's a pretty one, and there's like the just sort of like the yellows and the greens and the corals and things in there as well. So nice kind of basic, not so busy designer papers as well. So good for stamping on our background pieces. Okay. So let's move that across there. And while that's drying, we're going to bring in our pretty peacock for the leaves. We'll just wet those and then just bring in the peacock ink. And Elaine says, nice. It's pretty paper. Pretty paper. All right. Let's add a little bit of ink down the middle and just get those leaves a little bit stronger in colour. And I like getting messy with watercolour on bits like this. I'm in my happy place doing this. It's easy watercolouring, isn't it? This way, I think you don't have to. Watercolouring is not necessarily easy when you're colouring in an image, but throwing some colour on some leaves like this is easy peasy and super effective. Okay. So if you want some darker colour, you could add some more ink to that, but I'm pretty happy. I might just add a touch darker to some of these leaves. They're a bit pasty. Let's add a little bit of extra ink. Nope. And done. There. Right, I'm going to get my heat tool just to make sure these bits are properly dried. So that's Calypso Coral, Timid Tiger, and Pretty Peacock. Let's move that card out the way for a minute. And bring the heat tool in. Dried off. Don't take too much to dry, but you do want to make sure they're dry before you put them onto the card. See, once they're dry, they're now blowing away. Back here. they're mostly dry now. Just this one was very soggy. Okay. They are all good. Let's clear that. That was a bit damp still. Let's move that off my desk. So let's just get one a little blast. That's the only thing, isn't it? When you're pushed for time, you want to make sure they're properly dry. But obviously, if I was doing this, I could just walk away, leave them, let them dry naturally, come back to them. The stamps, I'm thinking we've got middles to these, so we could put some stamped middles into these die cuts. It's just a question of what colour do we use. Do I stick with the orange with the tiger and just give like a darker stamp of the tiger colour? Or do we go like a brown colour and bring in like a much darker centre? So we've got these centres. So there's a smaller one and the bigger one. If I grab pecan pie, could be an option. Could do the brown in the middle. Oh, peacock middle is a good shout, Kim. Stick with the same colours and just go dark. I like that idea. That is an option. Go the tiger. I think the peacock middle's a good shout, Kim, actually. That could be fun, couldn't it? Like, just stamp them all over a background of a card. Go completely dotty. Could maybe go stamped off. I like that. Go dark. Ooh. Let's go dark over the top of that, actually. Quite like that. There. There we go. Good shout. Kim said peacocks. Let's do that. We can stick to the same. You could leave them without any middle. I quite like them just plain as well. But gone for it now. Gone peacock middles. So I've done a few of these because I thought that actually we could layer them up. So I know I've stamped the middles now, but the intent was to kind of layer these together. And maybe that, maybe not the bigger one. That one. That one on there. Scrunch. Maybe put that one in as well. Let's do that. In there. twist that a little bit. Then we've got some nice, add that on that one. Those two together and that one together, and then we can have our leaves on here, which will give it more, I think something like that. Let's put them together. So go blue dot into the middle of there, and a blue dot into the middle of there, which makes them all nice together. And then this one can just go on top of that one. And then this one. And could potentially use that one as well. I don't know that it needs it. Could keep that for another card, I think. And then we'll blue dot this as well. That's a great idea. Oh, is that the scrunching? The blue dots work well to add the layers, but also add them. Oops. You do need a couple, like, you know, 2 or 3 with a flower this size. You don't want only just one. It won't be enough. And then we want our leaves that we've gone to the effort of doing. So we've got those as well. And those. Leaf coming in here. I can just tuck under there. And I think we want a bit of a white inside, actually. Leaf there. Okay. So I'm going to grab a white and just cut a standard base, just so that it gives us the inside layer, but it just gives a bit of a pop behind there as well. So that will just give some white behind. See, I tidied away. I put my motif away, and then I can bring in a sentiment. So do a touch of that inside, and then want a little bit of something, some twine or something to go on here. Maybe I do have the gold, and I've also got the peacock, which I used on my card and a cuppa this week. Let's see, this might be a little too wide for this, but does add a bit of sparkle. Don't know if that'll sit. I'm wondering if it'll sit in there and just kind of nestle in, or if it'll look a bit lumpy. What do we think? Don't know if that's maybe a bit lumpy, maybe. But under there, I think it's still a bit. It's nice. It's the right colour. It's just a bit big. And if I cut it that way, I think we're going to be in fraying trouble. But we could maybe if it does fray, as long as we tie it back together quite quickly. What do we think? Get the worst of it, and then have a little thinner bow. And then we can deliberately fray that a little bit now that it's tied. Get all the strands. That's maybe a little better, isn't it? It's not quite so clumpy. It was looking a bit too clumpy before. A bit too much ribbon. And use our lovely gold twine. Will come off the spool, so I'll deal with that later. No one needs to see me wind that back on. Right, glue dot for this. Let's grab a little glue dot, and then we can zhuzh that on there. And a glue dot. A few glue dots under there. And that's what we'll sit our ribbon onto. There. That's nice. That gold is pretty on there. And then we need some sparkles, don't we? We need something to go on there. I wonder if we need some sequins or something, don't we? I wonder if we could put something in the middle of those flowers to make them a little bit more sparkly. I've got I know we stamped them, but I do have the druzy dots, which are always really pretty, aren't they? We could put, got like the peacocks sitting out from behind there, and we could put them in the centre. So you've got the dark green behind, and I'll just offset that so you can see it, but then the gems in the middle. Pretty. There. I need to stop at this point because I'm like, what else can I put on this card? What else can I put on this card? Probably it doesn't need anything else. A sentiment. A sentiment is what we need. That's what we need. Right. At the beginning of this, I shared, so if you've joined partway through and you've joined me a little later in the live, I have been using the More Messages, which is a new one that's coming out with the die. So you can stamp the whole thing and then cut it out in one go. But I've been doing a few of them and I've got lots of messages sat in piles on my desk. And when I was in town, we were in town over the weekend, I saw this little box and I thought, perfect for my messages. So it's a little container, it's got 3 layers, and I've been able to put messages that I have cut into. So I've got already done heat embossed. So I've got lots of love, or I've got it in white. Quite like it in the white, or I've got happy birthday, and I can just pop in here and get out the sentiments that I want to use, which is rather handy. So I've got a little hello, which is quite nice. Might use that one. And there's 3 layers, and then I put all the different sentiments in each of the layers. So hopefully a little organisation tip for you might inspire you to do something similar. So I'm going to use the hello, and I might just pop that down here actually, I think. Do you know what? I need so many. I'm going to change my mind. I'm allowed to do that, aren't I? I need so many birthday cards in May. I am going to make a happy birthday out of this because it's one more done that will be required. So where to put the happy birthday though, that is the question. Here, I think, just a bit further down away from the leaves. I am debating whether I do like a white on black, but I am debating whether that one might be better on this card. I think the white with the black writing might be better. I think I prefer that. Right, let's do a little foam strip. I'll just put that along there, and then obviously just make sure that this sits somewhere not between the gaps on this particular card. So there you go. Happy birthday. And we've got the beautiful flowers from Impressions Abloom. They are gorgeous. That is no stamping on those flowers. That is just die cut. And then I've brought in a little bit of texture from the Beautiful Motifs stamp set. So you've got a swoosh and a little background in that, and then a good number of sentiments as well. And then I've just done the inside coordinating. So there you go. A bit of gold, a bit of coral, a bit of peacock, a bit of flowers. Thank you for joining me. I will pick out a name. Although I will pick out a name. I will pick out a name of someone who I recognise is their birthday in May, so that it will wing their way to someone who may be having a birthday in May. There are a number of you, and if I don't know that you're having a birthday in May, let me know in the comments, and this one will go out to someone whose actual birthday it is in May. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a lovely rest of your bank holiday weekend if you are in a part of the world where that is happening. I've got an extra day off. We've got another day tomorrow, so that'll be rather nice. And then back to work on Tuesday. But no great plans tomorrow. Another relaxed day, I think. So thank you everyone for joining along, whether you're here live or on the replay. It's always so appreciated. And I hope you've enjoyed that. And I will see you soon. Take care for now, everyone. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. Bye.